Immediate important business. How to distribute these books all over the world.
Ja, alles klar. Tschüss.
Da ist einfach, wie gesagt, neben Indien.
So when I got Srila Prabhupada's books by a devotee in the train station, I started going to the temple after that.
Allows one also to distribute a lot of sets, which is the ultimate nectar.
I got this gift from you. I'm very happy. Then there are very nice books.
What difference is there between these books and other books that contain yoga and other meditation and religious aspects?
What are you going to do now?
No, I'm going to start.
You're going to start Sankirtan? Yeah. Well, have a good day.
Yeah,
thank you very much. Hari Bol.
Bye-bye.
Hello. I came to bring something for the manager.
Sorry, he's in the meeting right now.
But I have an appointment. He knows I'm coming. Tell him Prema is there.
You have an appointment with him?
Yes, tell him Prema is there. We phoned.
All right then.
I haven't got time. I'm far too busy.
Yeah, I can come back another time, but at least I can show you what we have. We have the great classics of India, which we show to everyone. This is one of the most spoken by a sage, but he spoke to a king. You see him? So it was he had to adjust himself a little bit. It's not too philosophical. It's a story from in the West. They would sometimes consider it mythology, like stories, but actually it's real history. Yeah, so we visit all the companies here, and I can show you what we're doing. We have monasteries everywhere, and also in India we have our headquarters. You see, Mayapur.
I'm working so hard, sometimes 15 hours a day. My wife just left me, my son is taking drugs, so I think there must be something else.
So in this way, the manager signed the check for a Dutch set of Srila Prabhupada's books. And now, we're heading towards Austria, where one of Srila Prabhupada's oldest active book distributors is going to tell us about his realizations after 12 years of Sankirtan.
Over the last 12 years, you must have seen a lot of devotees do Sankirtan, come on to Sankirtan, do big and then leave.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your analysis on this, your point of view?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's a fact that so many Prabhupada disciples mainly left book distribution and went to do different other things, more or less Krishna conscious. But as far as I'm concerned, the biggest problem is that devotees didn't do a lifetime commitment to sell Prabhupada's books. Making a lifetime commitment to sell Prabhupada's books is not an easy thing, because there may be so many difficulties. It's just like, in one sense, getting married. If you get married, then there's no divorce. According to the Vedic culture, there's no divorce. So the same thing is with book distribution. If you take up a lifelong mission of book distribution, it's just like getting married to book distribution, and you cannot divorce. So through thick and thin, there's always thick and there's sometimes thin also. Difficult times, you still have to stick to it, provided that you are determined to make a lifelong dedication. So I'm unfortunately, I must say that not many devotees have made a lifetime dedication to selling Prabhupada's books. And I would encourage anyone, disciple of Prabhupada or disciple of a disciple of Prabhupada, to develop this lifetime dedication, to sell these books, to give these books to the conditioned souls, to make them happy.
Here we see Hari Namananda, Switzerland's top book distributor, in action. Usually when he approaches someone, he first gives them 2 or 3 books, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And then, if they're more interested, he presents 4 or 5 books. And then it's just one step to presenting the set. This time, 12 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam to a truck driver who was making a delivery. At the Northern European Sankirtan meeting in Radhadesh, he explains that Krishna has arranged for us to have so many different books to distribute. So therefore, we should not try to give people just one book at a time, but we should endeavor to give each person as many different books as possible.
They took always only 7 books, 7 Mahabig books. They were going only with these 7 Mahabig books, they were going to each person. That's for you. Give this today out and distribute them today to all the nice persons for Christmas. Very nice books about the Indian culture and philosophy. And all the people that took it, they never gave out less than 7. The 7 was like one book, you know. And the next step was the set. When the people gave a lot of donation, big donations, then they took the set. You know. Actually, they don't touch. I think they don't touch the floor anymore. They had a brilliant face, you know, smile like the sun. And so, without, they did big. But actually, they did so big like Hari Namananda. And so, we asked, how many you did, Ananda? And then Ananda said, I did, 470 today? 470 books, huh? 420 books.
One day?
In one day. Then we asked Purushottama, then Harinam did 300 something, 360, like this. That was naturally big surprise, 420 books. Never in the history we heard such a big result. So we are completely amazed. And then Ananda said, you want to hear how much, you should ask Purushottama how much he did. He did more. How much he did? And then he said he did 500.
On the road again, this time to Norway, where Tilakanath Prabhu, the temple president there, will demonstrate the art of distributing books in this mystical country.
Great pleasure to have you all here with us today in Norway. And in the background we can see Ålesund. It's a town situated on the west coast of Norway. We are going to distribute books here in Ålesund today. As you can see from the pictures we are showing you here, it's a lot of mountains, a lot of fjords, but unfortunately there are not so many people. So sometimes we have to look for the people to find someone to give the books to. So we hope you will have a pleasant and Hare Krishna. Ram, Ram, Ram.
Reappearing, Tilakanath has managed to find one of these rare Norwegians who was hiding in his car at the time. Having discovered him, Tilakanath presents one of Srila Prabhupada's books in the Norwegian language. Our Norwegian friend hesitates at this unfamiliar intrusion into his environment, but eventually he decides to investigate further as the concepts of karma and reincarnation are introduced to his deeply Norwegian mind. And finally, he surrenders some of his rare Norwegian Lakshmi, showing that the rare Norwegian people have good hearts. And now we're heading south again, to Germany, where we'll meet one of the new initiating spiritual masters, Sachinandan Prabhu, who will tell us how his Nam Hatha members also take part in the distribution of Srila Prabhupada's books.
Well, after doing book distribution for almost 5 years and then producing Srila Prabhupada's books into the German language, the books came to me in another way. I contacted those who had already read Srila Prabhupada's books or who had met the devotees. And I taught them how to chant the holy name, and then by and by form sanghas or groups where they would come together. Then, after some time, it was only a natural question, what should they do for devotional service? And one of the most direct and most inspiring form of engaging them was book distribution.
Und manchmal läuft man wirklich 1-2 Stunden durch die Einkaufsstraßen und nichts passiert. Man wird no, wir wollen kein Buch. Nein, wir wollen kein Buch.
Heidi says that she finds it very difficult to distribute these books in Hamburg on a Saturday afternoon. Everyone says, no books. Hare Krishna. But then one person takes a book, and soon we are distributing book after book, and everything is so ecstatic.
Versucht denen zu erzählen, worum es sich handelt. Aber niemand wollte etwas
And Dietrich tells us how he is distributing Bhagavad Gita to Russian tourists in buses and ships visiting Germany. Although they are suspicious sometimes, if one of them takes a book, they all take, very enthusiastically.
Hatte das Buch in der Hand, hat schon sein Nachbar auch die Hand ausgestreckt, um das Buch zu nehmen.
And here he shows the Russian Bhagavad Gita. Michael, Heidi's husband, tells us how he is becoming more and more ecstatic as he engages in book distribution. And now we go to the Naam Hatties in Rotterdam in Holland.
This is Bhakta George, Bhaktin Lucette and Bhaktin Vajero, and they are members of the Namahata group here in Rotterdam. George, what brought you in contact with Krishna consciousness?
So I went to a friend's home, and I asked him if he had some spiritual literature, and he gave me a pocket book from Srila Prabhupada named Self-Realization. So I read that book, and I thought that this is what I always wanted to know. You know, that's real knowledge. Yes, who I am, what I'm doing here. So all those answers were in that pocket book. So I went to the temple, and I bought a set of books.
Meanwhile, back in Belgium's Radhadesh,
so Prabhupada told me that in the BBT they have so many languages now to translate books. And so now the books are here, the lager are full with Prabhupada's books. The storehouses are full with love of Godhead.
Srila Prabhupada said many times that our ladies could preach equally along with our men. So in these next few scenes, we'll see Heidelberg Sankirtan Mataji's demonstrate the power of this principle.
I have been distributing Srila Prabhupada's book for about 11 years.
And you still enjoy it?
Yes, it is a very blissful activity to give Srila Prabhupada's mercy through his books. I like it very much.
And what are your realizations on Sankirtan?
I can see it is the only way for the conditioned souls to get free from these material miseries when they get Srila Prabhupada's book. And I can feel I can satisfy my spiritual master very much when I am engaging in this kind of service, and therefore I like it very much.
How will we help all these conditioned souls become happy? Heidelberg's temple president reveals his plan.
More or less, the whole temple is maintained by the book distribution, so therefore it's necessary that everyone who is able to do Sankirtan, that he is doing a book distribution. So at least those who are not traveling, so they go at least once a week, they go out and distribute books.
And how about you yourself, as temple president? Do you find it necessary to go out on Sankirtan sometimes?
Oh yes, definitely. I do that also.
And from this policy, which you've been practicing for a year now, what have you learned? What is your experience?
First of all, that's good for my own Krishna consciousness, because like I say, the whole temple is maintained by the book distributors, so it's needed that they get always inspired. So if I go also out, so it's for them it's a good example. I can also inspire them to do book distribution. And the second thing is that the atmosphere in the temple is very nice under the devotees, because there's no distinction between that's are the Sankirtan devotees, that are the temple devotees. No, everyone is doing Sankirtan once a week or the whole week. So everyone is feeling he's a preacher, he's a Sankirtan devotee. So it's a very nice atmosphere in the temple.
And in Zurich, the president explains the key to spreading Krishna consciousness in Switzerland.
So of course, to maintain the temples with book distribution alone, we need to get reasonable price for the books. Prabhupada's formula was double the BBT price, so you pay back the BBT for the book, and then the remaining Lakshmi is used to maintain the temple and support other kinds of preaching programs. So the main factor here is actually the consciousness of the devotees. The devotees really have strong faith in the books. They experience a great change in their own life. They have this higher taste.
And finally, we're going back to Germany to see the latest developments on the Sankirtan front.
But I think one of the most amazing stories for our Sankirtan devotees is what is going on in the rock and roll or pop scene. Just 1 week before Christmas marathon, Nina Hagen phoned me and said, "Oh, Sachinandan, I need some spiritual advice." So I went to her and we gave her a lot of prasadam, preached to her, and we also had a suitcase of books, Bhagavad Gitas. So she was not really sure if she would be able to distribute them. But then she was so enthused, maybe by the prasadam or what, at least she started chanting Hare Krishna on the stage, and all the fans went and danced. So afterwards, people were very interested and came to her, and she was able to distribute all of the books. But then, there is something else. There was, there's a new group, the latest, so to say. They are called the Chrome X, and although the music is not exactly kirtan style or anything which is even approaching Sattva-gun. Also they are engaged in some kind, or not even sometimes, they are engaged in book distribution.
And here is the head Cro-Magnon man, distributing Srila Prabhupada's books and signing them for his Stone Age fans.
If somebody doesn't go into this dirt and try to clean some of these people off, then there's not much hope, unless they get a book or some prasadam on the street. But it's like now we're going directly into battle, like we're in the middle of it,
I used to do book distribution, and the main line Prabhupada would say was, purity is the force. So according to how pure we are and how much we follow ourselves, then Krishna could empower us, who knows to do what. Anything could happen.
Go on, spreading the Sankirtan movement more and more. I am only one person, but because all of you have kindly cooperated with me, this movement has now become a success all over the world. Be assured that there is no more direct way to preach than to distribute Krishna-conscious books. Whoever gets a book is benefited. If he reads the book, he is benefited still more. Or if he gives the book to someone else for reading, both he and the other person is benefited. Even if one does not read the book, but simply holds it and sees it, he is benefited. If he simply gives small donation towards the work of Krishna consciousness, he is benefited. And anyone who distributes these transcendental literatures, he is also benefited. Therefore, Sankirtan is the prime benediction for the age. Krishna Vanam Tvisha Krishnam, Sangavangastrapachadam, Yagnai Sankirtana Praya, Yajantihi Samedasha. Hoping this meets you all well, your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. We regret that due to insufficient time and resources, we were not able to include all of the great souls distributing Srila Prabhupada's books around the world. But we know that Sankirtan devotees everywhere have experienced the transcendental potency of Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement because of the hundreds of thousands of letters sent to ISKCON by people whose lives have been deeply touched and transformed by the books of His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.